I have been on this story. I talked about it a lot back in June, much to the dismay of Buffalo Bills lovers, as if I don't have any, leg to stand on with them. I got crushed like a folding table. Like, I've been talking about how much I love Josh Allen and he's coming for your soul. And I chose them to win the Super Bowl last year going in. And of course, we found out in the middle of the season how this team filled with heart and soul and everything that happened with them in Damar Hamlin's heart. I think they just gave way. And Allen also did not have enough red zone options at his disposal and try to do the dreaded too much. And I think they've fixed these problems. I think adding Damian Harris to the mix there. I know they lost Nyheim Hines, but I think that they have Dalton Kincaid coming in, their first-round draft choice out of Utah. This tight end is going to be an absolute game wrecker on defenses inside the 20-yard line. Von Miller's coming back. He says he's hoping to play week 1. By the way, I feel the same way about Von as you do about Saquon in week 1.
Let him sit out.
Hey, you should take your time, Von.
Yeah, man, don't rush back. It's a long season.
But Von is looking engaged and looks as great as ever. Latavius Murray is on this depth chart at running back as well. I think they have checked a lot of boxes, but the thing that caused me some alarm was the fact that Stefon Diggs showed up at the mandatory minicamp and then didn't stay the day. Either went home or got sent home. And the head coach, Sean McDermott, when asked at one point in the press conference of the first day of this training camp, are you concerned? He said, very concerned. Normally coaches are like, oh, no, we're working out. We're in the house. We got this, that. The other thing, no, he flat out said they're okay. So if the coach is saying there's cause for concern, then I am concerned. Because whatever happened with Diggs and Allen on the sidelines of their playoff loss in the Western New York snow against the Bengals, if that's still lingering in any way, shape, or form in June, that hasn't been put to rest bed, however, to the satisfaction of Diggs, then why? And how will that affect matters when games actually get played? That's what I said. I talked about it with everybody that was on the show. Information men and women and also analysts. Robert Griffin III said it was something personal between Diggs and Allen, which set off on definitely an alarm bell in here. And I saw Allen show up on the Bussin' podcast and say, that this is overblown. Media's talking about it too much. And I can only think he was talking to me because anything involving that bus involves me.
I mean, obviously.
I think we're on day 407 right now.
Man, they ain't missing.
So Allen's like, this is not an issue. And I, at the time, was saying, I got you. I need to hear from Diggs. And, of course, I'd like to hear from Allen again when training camp starts. And that day arrived today. So we've got sound bites galore. Are you ready, Mike? I don't know what you're doing. You stop your banking or whatever you're doing on your app. Okay.
Done.
Here we go.
I was close. So he was banking is what he was.
Josh Allen
moving money.
was asked about his communication with Diggs. And here's what he had to say.
Have you and Steph since then talked things through, or did you feel a need to talk things through since then?
I wouldn't say we've talked things through, but we've talked. It's not about that anymore. It's about moving, towards the season and setting our goals of what we want to do. We want to bring a Lombardi trophy here come February. So just making sure, again, that everybody in the team is on the same page, striving to have that singular goal, and that's all it is.
So the page is turned. Now they're just focusing on the season. And I don't blame Allen for saying something like that. But I just love I love everything about this kid. I really do. And he seems to have a great relationship with Diggs, or did, and now he's saying they talk, which is great because it didn't seem like they were talking to one another, but at one another. Last time we saw them on a football field together. But Diggs hasn't spoken. That happened today. Here was Diggs on his relationship with Josh Allen.
Steph, are you and Josh good?
Yeah, that's my guy. Like, that's why I say when it's family matters, like, me and him have a conversation, like, I don't know, if you got kids or you have, like, siblings, like, y'all don't always get along. And me and him never did not get along. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's still been my guy. That's always going to be my guy. So, yeah, we're fine.
Stefon, why did it seem to take until minicamp for those conversations to be had and all this get hashed?
You know, that's so long off season that he was talking about earlier. So, I mean, I feel like it's a lot of time. And, I mean, what do people do with out of time? Out of time gives you a lot of time to think about things and, you know, regarding at the end of the game or how things happen with the game, you can kind of, like, start mustering up, like, however you feel about it from your point of view or from your standpoint. And that's what it's made for. The off season is made for people to talk. And it's not a lot of football going on, so let's talk about things that's going on outside of football or how the season ended or this. So, for me, I just feel like, you know, it's such a long off season, so it took a little while.
I love his smile too, man. He's a million watts.
Yeah.
Look, he's not wrong. We definitely in the media talk about things when there's no football being played that we ordinarily might not focus in on laser, but this one is different or was different. I'll give them the benefit of the usage of past tense here. Was different because these relationships need to be rock solid when things don't go your way, as they invariably do in the crucible of an NFL game, like say week 1 Monday night, whole country watching Aaron Rodgers making his Jets debut, and you're having to either go point for point or maintain a lead. So what was the frustration? Because clearly they lasted long enough where the long off season, it did take till June to hash it out.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Here, we're not done. This is sound bites of Palooza.
Let's go.
What were Stefon Diggs' frustrations?
Or teamwork to describe it. I mean, did your frustrations, whatever you talked about, involve your role in the offense specifically and the number of targets?
No, it's not necessarily, because I've been north of 100 targets since my years getting here. If you look at the numbers, I've been north of 100, I think, every year since I've got here. So it's not about targets. It wasn't when I say teamwork, I guess when he attributed to teamwork, I guess it would be like, as we're out there trying to make things shake, getting on the same page consistently, you know, in those pivotal moments, in those moments where we're trying to, you know, make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, last year we had like a real feast or famine kind of like time when we spent in the red zone, like where we weren't clicking on all cylinders. Like we would have an amazing touchdown and then we'll have like a miscue. And I take a lot of credit for that, just as far as like, I mean, what could I do better? How much more time could I be putting in? So that's why I think in my regard, he's talking about like teamwork. Like I could be a lot better for him, because I know, like I always say, I can't imagine how hard it is to be the quarterback. And to our eyes, he's amazing, and he's so hard on himself. So I just feel like I could be better for him, and I will.
Oh. Okay. I could be better for him, and I will. The last question, they're like, okay, so we're good? Everybody's good here? You're good with Josh. How about you with the Bills? You want to finish your career here? That was actually asked of Stefon Diggs today.
Question: if you wanted to be a Buffalo Bill, is that also outlandish or?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, the year before that, I told you I wanted to retire a Buffalo Bill, and like, I mean, it's more interesting to see how people run with a story, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of unfortunate a little bit in my eyes, because like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying, I had the utmost love and appreciation for everybody involved, but you kind of start seeing people's true colors when like they might hear something, or like I might not clarify, but I don't speak on anything I don't want to speak on. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm entitled to speak on what I want to. I'm an adult, you know what I'm saying? Like even like with my kids, like I feel like, you know, at one point you'll say I don't have to explain myself, you know what I'm saying? But for the people that support me and the people that love me, I'm always have the utmost appreciation for. But you know, kind of like in the smear campaign, it's never winning with me, you know what I'm saying?
You still want to retire a Buffalo Bill?
100%, sir. Sorry I didn't answer your question. Yeah.
Okay. For the Bills to win it all this year, that relationship has got to be rock solid. And as of now, all smiles. And I would assume that's what it will be in the fall. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.